Welcome back, class. I hope you did your homework as I asked it last time, because I did mine. Oh, and I figured out something really cool. That'll happen in just a second here. Okay, welcome back. Hope you did your homework. I did mine. I went through and I looked at my MSR groundhog stakes. I thought it was going to take like 6 larger 7.5-inch ones and 4 4-inch ones to tie out the tent for, storms and all that fun stuff. And while I was editing, I'm like, wait, why am I trying to keep track of all these different size stakes? And I didn't want to go 4 inches on everything, so I am now carrying 8 MSR groundhog 7.5-inch stakes for a total of 120 grams or 4.2 ounces. And you had some homework because I didn't convert my grams on my enlightening equipment. Revelation 30-degree 850 fill, long extra wide quilt, 7 denier inner and outer shell. I told you it was 692 grams. Did you do your homework? 24.4 ounces. If you didn't do your homework, the ad drop day is going to be in the next 3 to 4 weeks. Okay, moving on. I am now going to go on to my kitchen hydration and food bag. Some of this is a little up in the air. Got to figure all this stuff out. So, first thing I'm doing is my Toaks titanium 750 milliliter pot with the orange sack that came with it. A lot of people, chuck this, but then they find another way to keep the lid on and everything inside of it. Well, I just found out if you just keep this, you can do the same thing and just keep everything inside of it and not have to get something heavier like a silicone band or something like that. And I guess I don't think this is fireproof. I don't think you can use it as apparently you can use it to keep the food warm, but you can't take a really hot pot off as like a pot holder. You can't do that. It'll melt. So then I also have my MSR pocket rocket. This is a little stove that will attach to a fuel canister, which is right here. My isopropyl, I think that's how you say it. It's a canister. MSR Isopro All Season Fuel Blend. Okay, gotcha. This is it. Now, I used to get really into what is the consumable? I'm using the liquid inside. I still did that on the list. I didn't so much do it here. I just kept them separated. So, the canister weighs 110 grams or 3.9 ounces, and the fuel inside the canister weighs 101 or 3.6 ounces. So, I'm just going to keep it like that. Here, and then I have a piece of Tyvek. A lot of people use like a bandana or something. The more I was watching people doing that, the moisture from the bandana would somehow sink in and start rusting out the edge of this part of the stove. And I thought, okay, well, I don't want to do that. And then it was contaminating other their food and stuff. So I just took this piece of Tyvek. I cut it, I think it's 9 inches by 9 inches. Yes, 9 inches by 9. I have it 13.5 by 13.5, but I cut it down and changed the weight. So this is about 10 grams or 0.4 ounces. Because it doesn't absorb water, I figured this is a great way to just shake it out after I'm done. And you kind of need to wrap these things in the pot because when you're walking, they rattle around in your backpack and it drives you freaking insane. So basically, piece of Tyvek, put that here. Put my stove inside of it, and then I'm going to have this little Bic lighter. The Bic lighter weighs 11 grams. Put that inside of it. I'm going to have this Scotch-Brite Scrubby. This Scrubby is 1 gram. Do I need it? Yeah, but I mean, it comes out to 0.04 ounces, and it'll last me probably the entire trail because I have had cooked on food, well, not cooked on food, but dried out food in this pot before, and that's where I learned my lesson. Hey, maybe I'll just boil water in this and cook it in something else, and you'll see that in just a second. So anyway, this is to help clean whatever I need to clean without scratching anything. So I put that in there, and it was actually, who is that famous hiker? I'll put his name down below because I can't remember it right now. I saw how he was packing his as toques, and I was like, I didn't know it could fit all that way. So you'll notice I put it all in the bottom, wrapped it in that paper, and then I'm gonna just take my fuel canister and pop it on top. I got the plastic lid here on the top, so it will not make a sound when it, make that sound, but it won't go crazy. And then I can put it in here. And that holds basically my kitchen. And let me see, I believe I have this in here too. So I covered my toques titanium, I covered my pocket rocket fuel, and I covered the lighter. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have this, I'm gonna cook in Ziploc bags. Now I know all about the poisons and all that fun stuff. So I've got about, I think it was 39 meals that I have pre-boxed that I'm sending to me. So after that, I'm not going to be cooking in the Ziploc bag, but I do want to take this with before then, because it is a great way to rehydrate your meal outside of the actual container that the dehydrated food come in. Okay, getting in the weeds here. So that's my freezer bag. That's by Hyperlight Mountain Gear. It's called the Repack. It's 40 grams and it weighs 1.4 ounces. Then I have my Toques titanium long handle spoon with a polished bowl. This weighs 20 grams or 0.7 ounces. And I didn't think, much about the polished bowl until I started, you start like eating and cooking like a hiker in your house to figure out what foods you like and all that fun stuff. And the one that has the complete titanium bowl feels like you're like, like when a cat like licks you, you're like, ugh, that's kind of what that's like. It's a rough little sandpaper thing, and then you get this little polished bowl and it's just like a spoon. Amazing. So I don't know why hackers go through that. It costs a little bit more, I believe, but it's definitely has a lot of long range benefits. Then I have this little Sea to Summit Cool Grip X mug in blue. It weighs 69 pounds or 2.4 ounces. And I was watching a video about 6 months ago about forever chemicals and hiking equipment and PFAs and PFAFs, and was like, I need to really pay attention to that. So everything that I'm carrying, as far as I can check, is all safe from that. And I was really concerned about this because it is a silicone product. As long as I don't get it over 450 degrees, it won't leach. And this is great because it has graduated levels inside for measuring. And it has this kind of ridged coating, which keeps your hand off of the actual flat part of the mug. So it creates an insulation barrier so you can drink hot coffee in here. You can also use it to measure when you're cooking. And when it's all brought together like that, I hope this is in camera, it fits inside this little orange bag that the Toques pot comes in. Cinch that right up. And now all of that stuff that I've talked about, other than the spoon and this rehydration bag, all fit in this little part of my pack. Okay, that's all done. Now we're going to talk about hydration. First thing I'm going to do on here is I have the Squeeze water filter. I still think it's the best water filter out there. I know a lot of people like to use that one in the kind of squishy little thing, but every time I see it, it's like hanging out of their pack, and it just, I'm okay, shut up, John. Move on. So Squeeze, I have a sports cap on the one side. It is from a Smart Water bottle, and I have the, what am I calling it? The little washers. I'm getting a brand new washer sent to me every 30 days with my medications and stuff. So if I ever lose one, I'll obviously have an extra one. Apparently what happens a lot is when you're screwing this on and off of the water cap, if you screw it too tight, it has a tendency when you unscrew it to pull the cap out, or the washer out, and you don't even know when it's gone. And without that washer, this is pretty useless. So anyway, I'm going to put it in a Ziploc bag because there's going to be some times, well, a couple of reasons. It'll be cold when I start in the evening sometime, and I'll need to sleep with this inside my sleeping bag, because as soon as this freezes, it's useless, because you don't know if there's any damage that's been done or if it actually did freeze, because if it did freeze, it would expand and break all the fibers on the inside, and then you're just drinking poison water. Yay! Don't want that, so I'm going to keep in this little Ziploc bag so any water that kind of leaches out of it while it's in the bag won't get all over and wet my down. So we talked about that. Oh, I should tell you that the squeeze itself weighs 77 grams, bone dry, and 2.7 ounces, or converted to 2.7 hours. And the reason I know it's bone dry is because when I went to Dismal Falls on the hiking practicum that I talked about with Ramdino, I got home and I was trying to use it and I thought, oh, I've got some water from Yellowstone National Park from a spring that I've had in my refrigerator. I'm like, I'm gonna put this cap on, I'm gonna drink it. But I thought I need to kind of make sure it's clean and everything. And I was drinking out of just a smart water bottle and I was getting air bubbles. I'm like, oh, my filter's busted. So I had to get a brand new one. And then months later, I found that old one over there and weighed it bone dry, and that's where I got that weight from. Because when you purchase these, there is a little bit of water in them to keep the fibers not activated, but pliable and usable. And never, ever, never, ever, never use it on tap water because the calcium deposits in there, or the minerals, I should say, will clog that filter and you can't even unclog. Okay, a little word to why. So, squeezer, freezer bag. The freezer bag that it's in is a Ziploc 1 quart freezer bag, and it weighs 7 grams or 0.2 ounces. Next, I have my CNOC. I can't find an official, what do you call this thing? So, some people call it a Canuck. I've heard CNOC. I feel much more comfortable talking about it that way. I even go to the website that they have. I thought they had a video on how to say our name. They don't. So anyway, this is the CNOC 2-liter Vecto water bladder. It has a 22 millimeter mouth, which is this section right here. And that is the same size for screwing on the water filter. So you can squeeze that into the bottle. Oh, it's still got it's got some mud on it from Dismal Falls. Okay, so let me see. This will open up. And then this will be able to open up like this, and you can squeeze it and you can hold it under a stream of water, and I kind of like that, and you can use it for dipping. It fills up pretty quick. It is 2 liters or 72 ounces completely full. Yep. So that's that, and I'm glad it's an orange so you can find it in the dark. I will be taking on a smart water bottle. This is what I meant at the beginning. Maybe I didn't say it in this clip. I'm going to start out with the smaller smart water bottle. This is the 23.7 liter, or 23.7 fluid ounces, or 1 pint, 7.7 fluid ounces, or 700 milliliters. Because the liter bottles, the way I have I have a smaller torso, so I have less strap area, and so this sticks out way up here when you're walking, and it really interferes with my vision. So I found if I got this smaller one, it will sit a little bit lower. I will probably carry an empty 1 liter bottle, smart water bottle. I don't have one with me now. So that would mean I hopefully rely on this for water source to water source. Obviously at night, I would fill my Vecto up. It's 2 liters. Probably fill up my other whole 1 liter bottle and this guy. So I'll be carrying 4, 6, almost 8 pounds of water to camp. But anyway, that probably won't happen. I'll probably just carry the 2 liters and this. But this was also the perfect size for mixing element drink mix. And I really like the flavor of the less water with the element than the 1 liter bottle. Same benefits, I just think it tastes better. Okay, that was a lot. Then I made this homemade water clip. It is to clip onto the daisy chain on my pack. Because I have tried three, I won't say who they are, three different things that you can strap to your pack to hold your water. You've seen them probably in almost every video, and I just don't like them because, like I said, I have a smaller torso, and that seems to mean the strap hides up under my arm a little bit higher up than most people. So whenever I get it, like the water bottle would be sticking out here, and I couldn't stand that. So I was zipping through and I thought, how can I get a carabiner to stick on there that's quick and easy, but make a connection for it? So here's a little piece of elastic that I took off of, what was the backpack? Not Z-Pack. Took this off a Z-Pack Arc Haul, and it was for attaching the pockets onto that. So I took this little guy, it's a bungee cord, and it allows you to move that piece down and unlock it. So anyway, if I put this on the bottom of the strap, then the water would like flip into the bottom part there, and that'll stop it from flinging all around and throwing you off the trail. And then I saw a guy who was doing all these knots for making this little, gosh, do I know what it's called? No. And I thought, hey, I can use that. So I took another clip off of some athletic laces that I've never used because I didn't know athletic laces were basically elasticized. So whenever you walk, your foot would fly all over and you get way too many blisters. So anyway, I took this paracord that I had, came up with this little thing, and it kind of zips right on there, and then this ties shut. And it holds it like this, and I can strap it on way up here. It comes down to the right level. If I need to, I could probably take a sip out of it while I'm walking. And then this straps it onto the bottom. When I'm wearing my actual backpack in another video, you'll see how all this works in action. So that little orange guy, it weighs, homemade, water carrier is 15 grams or half an ounce. And I will, let's see what side will I do it on. I'll put a picture here. Okay, and then Aquamira. So, let me grab this. I do want to take the ability to treat my water. I do know that there are going to be some water sources that are questionable. For the most part, there are springs, and I'm okay with that. But some are going to be kind of questionable. So I was at the practicum, and Pony, one of the hikers there, talked about his mix that he uses, and I thought that was really cool, but I was like, yeah, I don't need that. I already got my Aquamira tablets. Then I got into the weeds about what's poisonous, what's not poisonous. And I'm not saying they're poisonous. What I'm saying is that led me down a rabbit hole to the Aquamira tablets, which are perfectly fine for everybody in the world, but because I have a partial thyroidectomy and I have half my thyroid, it wasn't suggested as the best way to purify my water. So what I found out that will be the best for me and anyone, I'm not a doctor, but I do believe anyone with a thyroid condition will have better luck with this Aquamira Part A and Part B. And you basically, I think it's, don't quote me, I'm doing this from memory, haven't done it yet. You take 7 drops of Part A and put it in a container, 7 drops of Part B and put it in a container, mix it up together, and add it to 1 liter of water. Now, that's awesome. They make this little container that I don't think Pony had. He had some sort of thing with a lid so he could kind of shake it up. Oh, and here comes the heater, so I hope you can hear me. Anyway, put 7 drops in, and it kind of turns like a highlighter yellow from what I remember, and then put it in the water. 30 minutes later, safe to drink. Okay, that was a short story long. And I'm putting that in the very first thing I ever bought like 3.5 years ago, because I was like, oh, I need a hiking walk. Not equipment, not like trail walking walking poles or trekking poles or anything like that. No, I need this because I need to figure out how I'm going to carry all my money in a stupid little wallet. So anyway, let's go over this right now. Aquamira water treatment Part A is 38 grams or 1.3 ounces. And the Aquamira water treatment Part B with the mixing lid attached is 42 grams or 1.5 ounces. And then this purple little guy is Light AF. Great name for a company. A small Dyneema zippered pouch. I believe it's 3.5 by 5. I didn't put that on there, but I believe that's what it was. And this weighs 8 grams or 0.3 ounces. Now, the thing that's gonna probably piss off a lot of people. My food bag. Oh yeah, there's a warning in the thing about my creative use of cursing. So, my food bag is gonna be kind of weird. I say that because this is the food bag I'm starting out with, but this is also the food bag I'm starting out with. I didn't want to make a decision on one and hate it and have to call my sister and be like, can you send the food bag? And then have to send that out, and who knows what that's going to be like on trail. It's all going to be a mystery to me. So I've decided I'm going to carry some extra weight, and I'll make the decision as I go. So I will go through this with you. I have calculated this out as for everything that I'm seeing to get a healthy calories and fat and protein content. There's this guy who does videos and has this great spreadsheet, Gear Skeptic. Amazing work. He's doing it over several years, so it's been kind of hard to like follow his channel because he'll take months in between videos. He does real scholarly, investigative research into all of this, and he has a Google Doc that you can download. At that time, it was all the popular trail hiking food, but it really awakened me to the needs for good fats, good proteins, and good carbs, and good nutrition on the trail. So that kind of made me think more and more of how I'm going to do all this. And it looks like through my research, you can plan on having about 2 pounds of food in your pack for every day that you're going to be hiking. 3 days, 6 pounds, 4 days, 8 pounds. So I'm kind of making myself have a day of, in case when I first start, I don't make it to where I want to go, or I'm there and I slept and I wake up and I feel like crap. Maybe I just want to stay there for an extra day to recover and heal. So I'm taking what's technically a 3-day trip and backing up and packing my fears and putting in a 4-day supply of food. So I have in here my OPSAC, which is made by Lakewooducc, and it is 12.5 by 20, and it weighs 48 grams empty, or 1.7 ounces empty. And inside of this are my meals, and each day is wrapped with what I'll have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then breakfast and lunch, and snacks in between, and then dinner are the 4 Mountain House meals at the bottom. So that's what's in the OPSAC and the 4 days of food. And then I was going to cover this more like along the lines of the day I don't leave to walk the Appalachian Trail. I have to take a lunch, dinner, and snack from when I don't leave the lodge to start my first day hiking. So miscellaneous foods, that's going to be 907 grams a day, which equals 2 pounds of food a day for 4 days. That's 3,628 grams, or 128 ounces, or 8 pounds. I covered the OPSAC. An OPSAC is an odor-proof bag. It's kind of a thicker plastic, and it's made by LokSack, L-O-K-S-A-K. Told you it's 12.5 by 20, and it weighs 48 grams, 1.7 ounces. And then this guy, happy to have bought them, really am. I'm not being sarcastic, but as soon as they bought it, they're like, oh, congratulations, we just made a new one. I'm like, yay. Because this bag, that's what this logo is, saying that this is a certified bear resistant interagency grizzly bear committee with the some sort of like patent number 245493. So this is the newest thing. A lot of people take, and I used to have one, a bear resistant cloth bag. I can't, I'm not going to do the bear bear barrels. I don't know what they're called anymore because I hate them so much. Anyway, unless I have to, or if I can hike through that section, I don't need to. I mean, this is grizzly proof. And oh, I'm going to get all the hate comments. Oh my God, they're going to steal your food and rip it up, and you'll have the food, but you can't get it, and it'll be bare. I'll have something to get me one day to a trail to get out of there, okay? Lord willing, we creaked over ice, or whatever that saying is. Okay, so I better move on because I'm getting passionate about that. So that's my Atotech Ultralight Food Locker Grizzly Bear Resistant Bag at 125 grams or 4.4 ounces. But then, 2 years ago, I made custom made this to go from Hilltop Packs. Great company, I love them. They will custom print your bag for you. I just wanted something unique and different, so I took a picture that was public domain that I have a copyright that I can use for commercial use of Amicalola Falls. And then I took, because I'm a designer, I want to call it pentagram, Pantone color chip, and pulled the color green out of there and made it that. This is my name, J.D. Haller, and then Appalachian Trail, and it was code dated like you would with a Pantone color chip as 05/15/2024 when I was going to leave on May 15th of 2024. And then got the dreaded phone call, oh, we don't like your EGD results, you need to come back in. So did that, and then I'm also have on here the carabiner and the Apex Giant Large Dog Bone for tying down the cord. This has 50 feet of black cord from Z-Packs. This is third oldest piece of equipment I have because I bought that purple wallet, then I finally figured out what pack I want. Don't buy your pack first, get your equipment first, and then find out what pack you want to put in it. And so this has been around, and I liked it because it's some of still the thicker bear line for hanging up, and it's pretty light. So the Hilltop pack with the custom print on it is 66 grams or 2.3 ounces, and the Z-Pack Rucksack with 50 feet of cord is 53 grams or 1.9 ounces. And then I just threw this bag in here. I didn't weigh it. I probably have it in the list somewhere for Don't Kill Me. That's going to be for packing out trash, and that'll probably keep changing all the time. Yep, I covered everything on here. So, gram total weight, 5,459 grams or 5.5 kilograms, or 193.44 ounces or 12.09 pounds. That's a lot. And please know that's 8 pounds of food and almost 2 pounds of water. So that's 10, which means really there's about 2 pounds going on here. I still don't like it. I just don't like it. Oh, I want to be a lighter. I've even joked like, you know, if I didn't carry food, this would be awesome. But you can't do that because you'll die. Anyway, up next on the videos that I'm making because I'm not hiking the Appalachian Trail will be me sharing the clothing that I'm going to wear, both on trail that I'm wearing and packing in my bag. And there's some stuff in there you're going to have some comments about. Speaking of comments, please comment. I'm sure some of you are like math geeks like me and are probably running all these numbers and seeing if I'm right and going to my lighter pack and all that fun stuff. Yeah, if I missed something, I weighed it, you don't see the conversion, let me know. I'll make that change because I am a graphic designer, so I like the ultimate perfection and balance of things. And that would be really good to know. I also would like to engage with you guys and see how things are going. I have gone back to all my other comments on people and I've tried to reach out to them to let them know I appreciate their support at the time when I was going. And I totally understand if they're not subscribed or following the channel anymore, but that I am starting this back up because I'm not walking the Appalachian Trail again. And it's been really nice getting some of the people coming back and some real, sorry, I don't want to cry. Okay, well, I'm going to cry. Some real heartfelt notes about some people who've been out there praying for me and hoping that this day would come. So with that, I'm going to let you go. Okay, bye. Okay, let's try not to have any really stupid outtakes. I did my homework and I updated my list, and when I was updating it for my big three, I talked about the steaks and I had like 7 and 4 small, whatever. I made the decision, why am I carrying around all these different sizes? I'm just going to carry 7.5 inch steaks. And so that means I'm carrying, can't read my own writing. So there's your first outtake.